this 1998 Chevy S10 for $3,000, and I'm gonna make it as cool as possible for as cheap as possible and prove that you could do the same thing too.
This thing's currently grandpa spec, regular ass traffic, and I'm gonna fix that the wrong way.
So let's get to work. .2, baby. Oh, it is so hot today. So hot, but it is slightly cooler in the shop. In preparation for this challenge, I've spent $50 on color matched paint, $80 on the cheapest headlights Amazon had, and $100 on 5-inch drop blocks. I'm gonna have to spend money on budget cool wheels and custom U-bolts for the rear end, but besides that, I wanna do everything for free or at minimum with stuff we have laying around in the shop. This challenge does not count the use of my friend's labor though. That's always free. First thing I'm gonna tackle is the stance, the worst part of this truck. We've got 5.5 inches of wheel gap in the rear and 4 inches of wheel gap in the front. I wanna eradicate all of that. Step 1, PB blaster on all of these rusty bolts. Step 2, remove one stock U-bolt so that Josh can take it to a custom fabrication shop to custom make 5-inch longer ones. Here, Josh. Grab it on the side that I just removed the rusty bolt from. Next, I'm gonna take the wheels off. Hey, cameraman. Hey, cameraman, ready? Ready? Next, I'm gonna take pictures of these wheels and I'm gonna put them on Facebook Marketplace for 200 bucks. And I hope, because they have good tires, somebody will buy them and knock that money off the total amount we've got invested. This is the down and dirty way to slam a truck. I could torch the springs, which is the absolute worst way to do it, but I'm gonna go one step higher and cut the springs. So basically, I'm just gonna remove this lower control arm bolt, the big one, and I'm gonna use a jack and the lift just to let the control arm hang down. We'll yank the spring out, cut it, put it back in, put it back together. Super easy, super simple. First, I'm gonna remove the shocks. Only at the bottom. I'm gonna break the sway bar bolts. Great. How about both, maybe? Only one casualty there. Getting the rusty cotter pins out was probably, hopefully, the worst part of this whole job. And it's like that on any old vehicle that you're taking the suspension apart on. Okay, a little impact handle it. Yeah. Impressive. You see, what I've just created is a bomb. I don't have anything under this control arm. And it could, with the spring pressure, boom, just blow apart and send the spring shooting at the floor, bouncing up and knocking my teeth out. But here I am, filming. So I should probably put a jack under this control arm and make it so it's not so dangerous. So basically, this spring goes underneath the control arm right here. I'm gonna leave about a 1/2 inch gap so that when I do break it loose, it'll pop down, but not too much. In fact, I'm gonna lower the lift a little bit. And stop, perfect. Now, what I'm gonna do, get a big old sledgehammer. This is how I remove ball joints. Look, come here. Right there, you wanna hit them on the side. That will shock the bolt and it will release it. Works like a charm every time, unless it doesn't. Oops. Oh no!
I don't think it works like a charm.
The trick is you gotta be careful with your swing. I hit the brake thing. There it is, see that? You see that? It sprung up. Check it out, up we go, baby. That spring still has some tension on it. That's still dangerous. And I'm just gonna hit this quick screwdriver in right here. Oh yeah, there's not much tension on that at all, actually. So now, basically, I'm gonna pull the control arm out of the way. And there's our spring. I can fix this. I can fix anything, as long as it's something I don't want to fix, because I am mildly selective and lazy when it comes to working on cars. Yeah, quick tip, don't hit the brake banjo bolt with the sledgehammer. Oh, look, I bent the shit out of it. Glug, glug, glug. I've called 4 auto parts stores, and finally I found one with sway bar end links and a brake banjo bolt, so I'm gonna send cameraman to go get them. And Declan is gonna be standing cameraman.
I wish I could leave forever.
So now, while we wait for the parts to put that back together, let me get the other side apart. Control arm bolt number 2. Break it loose. I realized the smarter thing to do would be loosen this bolt halfway before hitting it with the hammer, but I kind of like the bomb. I think the bomb's kind of fun and exciting. I'm once again going to put my life in danger. The nut is out of the way. There it is. Uh-oh. Oh God. Oh no. I think the shock's actually holding it up. I now see we are stuck on the backing plate. Nothing is ever easy, remember that. Hello, Mr. Spring. Welcome out. After your 27-year stay. Well, Mr. Spring, it appears you don't want to play with me today. Boom! Spring number 2 is out. You see these? Those are bump stops. Those make it so if the truck hits a really big bump and the control arm bottoms out on the frame, it doesn't jar your entire body. But you see, I'm not a man of comfort. I'm a man of style. So I'm gonna remove these. So we have that extra travel. Quick tip. If you're not doing this on an intense budget like I am portraying, you could buy 2-inch drop spindles that would eradicate the need to get rid of the bump stops and cut the springs so much that the truck is slammed. I am destroying the ride quality and comfort of this truck just so it looks really, really cool. But if you bought drop spindles, which I think cost another $100, you could do that too. I'm just trying to do this for basically free, minus minimal parts. Cut the head of the bolt off now, hopefully. Now we're gonna replace the sway bar end links, we're gonna replace that caliper bolt. And while we wait for those parts, we're gonna cut the shit out of these springs. Now when it comes to cutting springs, I believe 1 full coil is usually 1.5 inches of drop. So I wanna go 4 inches in the front and 5 in the rear. So 1 full coil, which would be right here, would be 1.5 inches. Another one would be 3 inches. So I think I'm gonna go another half from there. 2.5 coils. And it should look perfect. Or we'll have a hideous rake or a hideous squat. I sure hope not though. Dude, that's like the thickest spring I've ever cut before. It's not even like a heavy duty truck. Because as you can see, I have cut the bottom coil so it no longer has that flat portion at the bottom. It is angled like this in the bottom. So I'm going to install it in the truck on the driver's side like this, so it kind of follows the angle of the control arm on the bottom. I want the most possible drop. Game of surgery right here. What the f?
You mean operation?
That spring's sitting in there, roughly. Now let me cut the other one. Okay, spring number 2. You can tell the control arm is not mentally prepared to compress this far. I've lifted the truck up higher. I'm gonna set the spring pretty much in place underneath my control arm. You gotta push the shock through like so, and then I'll set the spring down. I've messed myself up, as you can see. Whoopsie daisies. Shimmy on down there, buddy. Just for your buddy Tom, please. Down in we go. Thanks to Mr. Lift. Control arm bolt, tight. Brand new cotter pin. You can basically say the suspension is completely new now. And he's back. What do you have for us, cameraman?
End lengths, banjo bolt.
Thanks, cameraman.
Not welcome.
Switch.
No, I don't want to. My hands are full. My hands are full.
I'm running away. Perfect. Let's fix that brake. Hopefully that doesn't leak. I also bought 2 new sway bar end link kits. $47. That trip to Advanced Auto Parts cost us. And tight. Next step is push the shock in by hand, get the bolt started. Now those are the factory shocks, and I'm hoping they don't bottom out all the time, but they might. Is that everything? Minus bleeding the brakes? Good. Now we have to bleed this brake caliper, which should be simple as long as the bleeder doesn't snap. After wrenching and vice gripping, the bleeder is in fact completely stuck and stripped now. So I gotta take the caliper off and get a new one. This whole budget thing's kind of biting me in the ass, isn't it? I don't feel like fighting this for an hour, so I'm just gonna run into the store in town and spend $30. Once again, I have used my powers of friends and sent Aiden, cameraman, to go pick up another brake caliper. And while he does that, I'm gonna move to the rear. You see these right there? Those are bump stops. Let me just get this off out of the way. That's a damn near perfect Sawzall cut if I do say so myself. That right there, baby. That is travel. Don't worry, the factory did it like that. Can't you see? C-notch, C-notch. That's a T-notch right there. That's me. T-notch number 2, success. Well, I mean, if you're asking, yeah, I am hard, but I thought you were talking about the truck. Remember, need fit and finish on your T-notch. That's looking pretty good. Oh, thanks, cameraman. Ooh, oh, are you kidding me? Kidding me? This is f***ed up. That's like a cruel joke. Damn! $45 later, we have a new brake caliper. And that brake caliper came with a banjo bolt that we made another trip for. Let's try to bleed that one more time. I'm taking off my U-bolts because my new U-bolts are here. How much did these cost?
$75.
Oh no. They look good though. Shout out Bud Springs in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That is like the 4th time they've made those for me on the spot. U-bolts are off. Now, all we gotta do, raise that. Uh-oh, what did I do? Now I can install my 5-inch drop blocks, and I hope that the pins line up, and they don't. They're too big. Because why would it be easy? So I'm going to shave down these a little bit, because they are too thick. They are for an F-150. These are actually F-150 lift blocks, but I'm using them as drop blocks, because they serve the same purpose. Oh, dude, you almost got Josh.
Why are you?
Because I don't know, working, putting on a small top plate.
Why are you pointing that at me?
You almost went face first into that. Because these leaf spring dowel pins are slightly too big, I'm just shaving them down professionally. I've modified that to be absolutely perfect, and now fits like a glove. So I can set these in place. Remember, angle when you're lowering, lower side goes to the front. And now, lift this center section up. Okay, we got one dowel pin on there. It's gotta come forward as well. It won't move. Well, uh-oh. This has never happened to me before. Feels like it's trying to push the drive shaft forward and the drive shaft has no ability to slide forward. This truck is an extended cab, so it has a 2-piece drive shaft with a carrier bearing. Can't say I've run into this problem before. I'm a dumbass, and I need to flip these around so it angles up instead of down. I think I was being stupid. But either way, even if the pinion angle is a little off now, I don't know if it is. Am I being stupid, everybody? I added 5 inches of lowering, which means I have raised the rear end up 5 inches. So in doing that, the drive shaft is gonna do this. Yeah, so if I counteract it the other way, it's gonna be worse. Okay, so yeah, I was right the first time, but the way the first time was does not appear to fit. This works, but it doesn't seem right. I'm gonna say this will work. Very well might not be correct, because I can almost always remember angling down in the front, but that way forced the drive shaft forward and it didn't work. And this works. And honestly, this thing is like, makes 100 horsepower. It's not like we're power shifting an LS motor or something like that, so do not do what I do. All right, that's looking pretty damn tight to me. Now what I'm gonna do, take the pole jack, put it under the center section. Let's see. How's that angle look though? Angles for the drive shaft are supposed to be equal and opposite. You can see this is aimed up slightly, and honestly that is aimed down slightly. Now, the angle does not look exact, which you kind of want it to be exact. It's okay, right? Let's see what that stance looks like. I think I cut the front too much.
You cut the front. Perfect.
A rake from hell. Damn! Of course I did that. Oh, it looks so stupid. No, oh. Yeah, we don't really have much travel left in the back. Oh no. See guys, this is why you never do what I do, because I'm a dumbass. The lift's out of the way now. How bad is it really? I'm an idiot. The front looks so cool. Hey, whoa. When you, I bet it's gonna be the worst riding vehicle on the planet, and I'm right. We have an inch of suspension travel between control arm and frame in the front. Now, okay, so that gives us about another inch, and honestly, one more inch of drop on the rear gets it pretty damn cool and close. Even with the stock wheels, which have tall tires, we need one more inch in the rear. Let's go up and look at my block selection. If I don't have blocks, I do have the Speedy's Equipment Poor Man's Traction Bars, which are basically just leaf spring clamps that clamp the front leaves together and prevent axle wrap. And it does drop the rear of the truck down 1 inch, but because that truck has an open rear and 100 horsepower, it doesn't really need those. I have a block box, and let's go sort through it. I'm already seeing a couple different backup plans. I have coil spring spacers that I could shove in the front, but I don't really want to do that because that means we have to take the front suspension apart again. These, I believe, are 1.5 inch drop blocks. I mean, if we drop the rear down another 1.5 inches, I mean, now the problem is our U-bolts won't be long enough. You know what? I'm gonna try the leaf spring clamps. I think we'll try these now. Guys, I did more digging on my parts shelf and I found something even better. I have the concoction that will level this truck out. Will it be correct at all? Mm-mm. But will it look good? Yeah, check it out. 4-inch drop blocks, brand new. Forgot I had them. And then I have my 1.5 inch drop blocks, which will give us 5.5 inches of drop, 1/2 inch more in the rear. And then on top of that, we have these Speedy's Equipment Poor Man's Traction Bars, which will clamp the front of the leaf springs and drop it down roughly another inch. So if that's not level after that, I don't know what will be. I would like to remind everybody, do not do what I do. Do not follow my lead when I am doing things like this. Stacking drop blocks is probably unsafe, but I've done it before and I'm still walking, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Cut to future in the video when I get in a horrible car crash due to my decisions. Will you please fit? Can you shove that a little bit? Oh, going past it. That one's damn close. Oh, there it went. There's the stance I'm looking for, buddy! We're on to something here at Tom's Refurb. Now, while I'm not particularly happy with stacking lift blocks, the driveline angle now looks straight and proper, so I'm not worried about it. And we've got another 1/2 inch of drop, and I'm going to add at least another 1/2 inch of drop by clamping the front of the leaf springs. Watch. Now, these leaf spring clamps are not exactly designed to lower trucks. They're actually meant to help with wheel hop. What you do is you clamp the front of the leaf spring and it prevents the leaf spring from slapping together like this, and that causes wheel hop. So they definitely help a lot, but in turn, because they're squeezing the leaf spring together, it kind of tightens it up and it does lower your truck about 1 inch. Don't know how much these are gonna lower on this particular truck. Everyone's kind of different, but every time I've installed them, they do lower the truck about 1 inch. And those are available at speedysequipment.com. See that? Spring is clamped together. Whew, that's a workout. Leaf spring number 2, clamped. Now, get these out of the way. And let's do a ride height check. It's better, but we got a solid inch difference. I could put those 1 inch spring boosters in the front, but I really like the way the front sits. Dang! You know, that rake shouldn't bother me, but it really bothers me. You guys want to know my solution? I'm aware that this whole video has been pretty dumb, but I do have the factory bump stops, and the control arms are currently riding lower than them, so I'm gonna put them back on. I guess this is not that bad, and I say that just so I won't feel so guilty about it, because it is very dumb. You just toss these bad boys back in, and we're gonna be back to level, maybe. Have we repaired it? It is sitting on them. What do you think, cameraman? Oh, that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, I should have never taken them off. Now that we've got the stance just about perfect on this thing, it's time to make it look awesome. Part of the reason I love this truck so much is that it's factory color matched. The front bumper is almost completely red, except for this ugly sun-faded grille. And I also hate this grandpa wind deflector. So with that, along with some headlights, we can transform this, make it have a complete new attitude. First things first, get this thing off. It is gross under there. Yikes. We're gonna fix that, but first, I'm gonna pop the grill off so we can get it prepped for paint. I believe this grill should just pull off. So far, so good. Now this grill is super gross, super faded, but with a good sand with a DA, a good prep, and some red paint, it's gonna look so good on this truck. I'm also getting rid of the amber marker lights because they're ugly. Emblem removed, marker lights removed. Now it's time to make this look pretty. 320 on a DA is gonna get this pretty damn good. I've got the inside portion of the grill taped off. Now it's scuffed and cleaned. First step is adhesion promoter, which will help paint and primer stick to the plastic. Now, because this is plastic, I have added adhesion promoter, but I need flexible primer surfacer if I really want the paint to stick well. This plastic is flexible, doesn't adhere very well, and it cracks off, and it looks bad. Coat number 1 done. Now while I wait on my primer, paint, and clear coat to dry in between coats, I need something to do. And originally I was like, there's no way I'm touching the exhaust on a 100 some horsepower 4-cylinder. It's gonna sound so bad and so stupid, but I wanna do it. I wanna see how a speedy smooth sounds on this truck. I'm trying to decide, do I do a side pipe or do I do just a nice tip with the tailpipe? I think the tailpipe's gonna sound worse because it's gonna be running through more pipe. But to start, I'm just gonna cut the muffler off and see how bad it sounds like that. I shouldn't have done that. What do you think, Josh?
Sounds just like mine did.
That's not a good thing. Just in case we need to, I've brought 2. But I would like to see how it might sound with my world famous, speedy, smooth, drone-free, awesome muffler. Thank you, J-Man. I appreciate it. Just a speedy, smooth muffler dumped. Sounds a little bit like a Civic. Damn, I should put 2 mufflers on it, but I basically can't. Now the mystery of the day is, does that make it sound more terrible? That's okay. I don't think it's gonna get much better because it is a 4-cylinder.
If you like the way a 4-cylinder sounds, that sounds good.
Tossing tack welds on these intermediate pipes right here between the muffler and the stock exhaust. And I can take them off, weld them up, prep the stock exhaust, and weld it on. I kept missing the muffler that whole time. My welding goggles are fogging up because it is 8,000 degrees in here. Primer is done. I've gotten a good portion of it welded. Now I'm gonna lower the truck down so I can get to the top of the pipe easier. Now let us revisit the exhaust pile. I have a box of tips here. Ooh, I got this really ugly, nasty one. Look, I accidentally cut it in half and then started welding it back together, and it was so heinous I stopped. But I could always put it on this. I mean, if I just trim the stock tailpipe a little bit and tuck it, I mean, is it really that bad? What do you think, Cameron?
I like it.
I mean, don't look at how really ugly it is up close. because it's ugly. But I am gonna weld it together the rest of the way, and then I'll tack it to that. It'll be fine.
One eternity later.
Hello, it's a new day, and it's possible that I was on Amazon and impulse bought 2-inch drop blocks to replace the 1.5-inch drop blocks just because I know we can get another 1/2 inch of drop in the rear, and I really want it. So I'm gonna install them real quick. The good thing is, the 1.5-inch blocks cost the same amount of money as the 2-inch blocks. So I've added no money to the budget. It's fine. I promise that's the last time I will touch U-bolts this video. It's gonna be lower though! In other news, our grill is looking fantastic after drying overnight. It's gonna look good on the truck, but I have to prepare the front of the truck before installing. So let's do that. First thing, I've soaked all of this mold in degreaser, and it appears it's gonna come off pretty nice. It's gonna look like brand new. Little eraser wheel gets those nipples off. Want me to try this on your mom? I can't decide if we should buff this truck or not because buffing is a lot of work, but also the paint will look 18 times better if we do buff it. What do you think, Josh? Head buffer. Josh is already envisioning success over there. He thinks he's buffing right now, actually.
All you have to do is give him the real stuff and he'll go at it.
Yeah. You gotta turn him loose on an actual car. Look at him, look at his hands. You can still see his form is intact. Next step, remove ugly, faded stock headlights. Goodbye. Next up, thanks to Amazon, I got nice chrome headlights. I think chrome headlights complement just about every vehicle possible. Woo! Woo!
It was like an IQ test.
IQ tests are really hard, but I passed 75. It's like a C. Chevy was so smart with their early 2000s vehicle headlight installation. It's like so simple. There we go. Headlight number 2, installed and shiny. Now it's time for what I am very excited for, assembling our painted grille. Now I did spend $60 on something not necessary at all, but it will make a big difference. We have our beautifully painted grille here, and I'm going for that bling blang look. And ain't nothing say bling blang like an eBay billet grill. These will go into the grill like so and add a good bit of pizzazz. And for $60, come on. You can now see how crudely I did that. I was in a rush, and it is obvious. It's fairly straightforward. This is such a small little detail, but I think it's gonna really make the truck look cool. Woo! Boom, check it. About $100. $60 in billet grill. I didn't use it all, so $40 worth of paint. That looks so much better. Now all I gotta do is toss the emblem in, and we put it in a truck. Somebody already commented and called this truck Cold Tomato, and that's a really good name for it. Either Cold Tomato or Cherry Tomato, because it's kind of turning into Hot Tomato. Last step, I'm telling you, this alone, even if this truck was stock height with the stock wheels, this modification, which in total cost $180, just absolutely transforms it. You guys aren't ready. You guys are not ready. Ooh, baby. Clip. Now, without dropping it on the floor, before moving on, this cracked color match bumper's really been bugging me, so I popped 4 holes in it, and I have red zip ties. So you're definitely not gonna tell that this was ever repaired. All right, you can't tell unless you look real close at that. Time for the big hood close. These match. Oh, that's not bad. That looks pretty good. Not too bad for a little rattle cam job. We've reached the very important part of the build where it's time to fit up wheels. And the problem is, I'm trying to decide between 2 sets. I have 2 sets of wheels that cost 2 different amounts of money. Basically, this is the cheap set. $300 15-inch polished aluminum American Racing torque thrusts. That was an absolute steal on Marketplace. These will bolt right on the truck because they actually came off of an S10 before. So $300 wheels that won't require spacers at all. They will need a good polish, but they look good, they look modest. And then option 2 are these. 19-inch staggered Vossen wheels with fairly stretched tires. That cost $600. So twice as much money as the other wheels. Now I am aware, these look far cooler and they will completely change the vibe of the truck from average Pawpaw S10 to sort of pimp slammed S10. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put one set on either side of the truck and decide which one is fitting. And if these look a crazy amount better, are they worth the $300 of extra money? We're gonna see what looks better right now. Oh, me? I didn't find another set of leaf spring clamps to potentially drop the rear yet another ½ inch. Why would I be doing that? Interesting indeed. I think I have my decision already. However, it's not on the ground yet. Remember, since yesterday, we've potentially dropped the rear another inch. And once again, we've done it wrong. So with that in mind, let's put it on the ground. Ooh. This side is looking very stereotypical slammed S10. I don't mind it. No. Okay. Okay. This side looks better. Oh my God. Golly gee willy. Now keep in mind, these cost an extra $300 plus, if we use them, another $100 in spacers. So $400 extra.
Do you want to take Meemaw to Sunday service? Or do you want to go get looking the drag strip looking fly as hell?
This side's the granny picker-upper, that side's the lady picker-upper. I think it's worth the extra $300 to $400. I think we're gonna shell out the extra money on this budget build because these wheels look awesome. So I'm gonna put it back on the lift. We're gonna actually install all of these. We should probably drive it and make sure it is drivable. Opinion of Papa John, what wheels look better?
I'm always a sucker for the 5-spokes.
Well, they're both 5-spokes.
Yeah, I like these. Need a polish. I don't like those. It sticks out too far.
If they had wider tires,
It looks ricerish. It looks like the camera should be like this on all of them.
we've kind of nicknamed it Cold Tomato, and these wheels fit that very well. I think the 15s are a little small, in my opinion. You can trust me, it's gonna ride real bad no matter what wheels are on
Taking a
it.
perfectly good truck.
It's gonna ride real bad. But it looks so cool now. All right, we gotta put all the wheels on. Wheels are on, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but our additional spacerage and clampage on the rear did drop it another inch. So I'm gonna take the front bump stops back off. Good news is, I can always put those back in. Now, let's see how this thing really sits. Once again, slammed the wrong way. Oh my God. Oh my God. Good. Good. Oh, sorry. Now we might have a little bit of a rake again. We basically don't have any travel in the rear or the front, but oh my God, that looks awesome. Let me add up real quick what we spent. That's everything, right? Is that all? I have a feeling this budget S10 has been modified at the cost of what it's probably worth. We have spent a total of $4,205 on this truck in order to make it look this cool. Now, if we had the torque thrusts on it, it would cost $3,805. And if I sold those other wheels for $100, then it would really only be $3,705. And then maybe I could sell the headlights off of it for, I don't know, 20, and then we got $3,685. So I'm really stretching it right now. So basically for $4,000, we've got a badass truck. I think we need to drive it and see how absolutely miserable it is now, because I can guarantee it rides horribly bad, and I'm mildly worried that the steering linkage is gonna bottom out on the frame when we hit bumps. But we won't know until we try, so let's go try. We're doing some last minute detailing right now before we go to the car wash. I'm scraping off the really bad clear coat, and I'm gonna hit this with a buffer real quick so it doesn't look that bad.
While Tom does that, I'm gonna get the interior spick and span.
Not perfect, but not nearly as noticeable. Grossest part of the truck is this weird brown stain by the console. Looks like somebody spilled black coffee on it. So I'm gonna soak it in simple green and hit it with this old drill and a brush wheel. Just like that, it's like a brand new truck. Now, let's go for a ride. It's okay. What's up with it, boy? I can already tell this thing rides like an Amish buggy. Time for a team test drive to see how bad we've done. We are all four gonna get in it. Cameraman, you can sit in the cuck chair. And Josh, do you wanna sit in there too? We'll all be uncomfortable together. How's that? Is that okay?
If we get in a crash, I don't think I'm gonna have legs after it.
Me either.
To the car wash we go. I have a feeling this is gonna be miserable. I like how it sounds. I'm floored right now, by the way.
Not too loud either. Damn!
Remember, if you want anything daily drivable, don't do what I do.
And 40!
60! How's this? Hey, honestly,
Not terrible.
it does not ride as bad as I thought. I bet it handles pretty good.
Oh no.
Not really. Not really. All right, I hate four cylinders, but I do kind of like that it sounds like this.
It sounds good.
It sounds like not bad.
What?
Yeah, dude, that's all it's got.
Oh my god.
At the car wash, we are here. This thing's badass. I like the S10 like 5 times more now that it's less drivable. I like that. Not a 4-cylinder guy, and I like that. Now it won't scratch the paint. Because we're not buffing the truck, I do not feel bad at all about this. In fact, sometimes when I do buff vehicles, I specifically use this, just so I have a basic cut already done. It appears there's a police helicopter trying to find where we are.
Dude, it's a cargo bot from GTA 5.
Okay, it's got some scratches, it's got some peel and clear coat, it's got a couple rust spots, but dude, this thing's badass. Oh, it almost stalled. Damn. I really like this silly little S10. It's so silly and little. $35. We did not break speed limit. It's got some gas. I think we picked up 5 horsepower with that muffler. This thing, do you hear it? Like it sounds like it's getting into an accident every time I hit a bump. What was the decided name? Was this cherry tomato? It's not hot tomato, it's cherry tomato because it's so tiny and it literally looks like hot tomato with the 22s on it. Also, I'm floored right now and I can't pull this hill in 3rd gear. This is why these trucks blow up, by the way. Edit done. It is 100 degrees out there, so we're gonna film the outro in the air-conditioned, badass slammed mini truck that we did for $1,200. It's safe to say this thing is no longer regular ass traffic. Still insanely slow though. It has no balls. But now it makes noise, so it has charm. I'm actually super happy we were able to get it this low for as cheap as we did. The $700 wheels cost the most money out of anything we did, so if I had cheaped out on the wheels or even left the stocks on it, this thing would have barely cost me anything to slam. So you can obviously do it better. You can do C-notching and you can do drop spindles and you can not stack lift blocks under the axle, but you can do what I just did and slam your cheap S10 and have it look absolutely badass. I am so happy with this thing. I'm into it. 4,200 bucks, 20 plus miles per gallon, cold AC, 130,000 miles, and it's pimping. So thanks for being here on the best day in automotive content on YouTube. This was a really fun video. Let me know if you want to see more budget-oriented builds like this, because I will crank these out all the time. I love doing this. So love you guys. Thanks for being here. Check out Tom's Refurb Raw Patreon. Check out Speedy's equipment, and check out tomsrefurb.shop. I love you so much. So much. I'm gonna do a little pull for you real quick. This thing is slow and it sounds like an airplane, but I love it so much. Love you guys too. See ya.